Have you or your family members ever been gaped out by a dinosaur? Well, then you're gonna love this video. Hi, I'm B3. So, I put up some videos recently of me reading some Godzilla fan fiction. Pretty fun stuff, pretty Gucci stuff, but pretty swag, YOLO, and I just really enjoyed making them. I really enjoyed reading these stories and reacting to them. So I figured, let's not do fan fiction today. Oh, let's do something else. Something sneaky. I actually bought a book to read for you guys today. It's right here on my Kindle. Well, this is a Samsung, but I have the Kindle app. It's a story about dinosaurs. You know, lots of people on my channel are big dinosaur fans. My dinosaur videos are often well received. So I decided to review this book, Taken by the T-Rex, a dinosaur erotica story bundle. If you don't know what erotica is, it's basically a classy way to say porn. It's by Alara Branwin and Christy Sims, and apparently Taken by the T-Rex is top tier dinosaur erotica. You might be surprised to learn this. Dinosaur erotica is pretty popular. Just being straight up deep dicked by a fucking triceratops or some shit. Wow. So I didn't just get the regular Taken by the T-Rex. I got the Deluxe Story Bundle. That's right, I bought the Deluxe Bundle for you guys because I know you love that shit. We probably won't read the whole thing today because it's mini. It's 2,594 pages. I gotta learn to read, and I also gotta learn numbers. But we're going to start it, and we're going to see where it goes. So right off the bat, it says in the inside cover, "This is a work of fiction. All characters, names, places, and events are the product of the author's imagination or used fictitiously." No shit. And I also can't read you this entire book because I don't want any copyright problems, and also YouTube would take it down just for the sex. So I'm kind of just going to describe events to you, but a lot of it I probably will read. There are several stories in it. Dino Park After Dark, The Raptor and the Warrior, Taken by the Pterodactyl, which is not a dinosaur, by the way, Ravaged by the Raptor, In the Velociraptor's Nest, Dinosaur at the Dig, Taken by the T-Rex, which I thought would be the last or first one, but no, right after that we have Ravished by the Triceratops. So yeah, 8 stories. And we're going to start with Raptors Beneath the Big Tent, Dino Park After Dark. Maria had been working at Dino Park for almost 3 years. Very generic dinosaur park name, by the way, which I'm sure is intentional because if it sounds anything, even like a parody to something else, you don't want them suing you simply because this is porn. The work wasn't that challenging, and it certainly wasn't her ideal job, but it paid well, and the hours were flexible. She could work as much or as little overtime as she liked, and she had worked in her section of the park for long enough that she had relatively good job security. It wasn't a career choice that she had consciously made, but it was one of the only options for a fresh college graduate with debt coming out her ears. Same girl, same. Aside from that, she enjoyed visiting the park when she was younger and still loved watching all the new dinosaurs in their habitats. It gave working at the park now a sort of nostalgic feel. One day, she hoped to work for the organization behind the Dino Park itself, sinking her teeth into some research, but until then, she had to put in her time and build a name for herself. Okay, so the origin for the park is basically the same as Jurassic Park. Bunch of rich-ass genetic researchers figured out how to recreate dinosaurs, made a park to profit off of it. It's exactly the same, except this one seems successful, and instead of eating people, they fuck them in the butt. Oh, so the author actually is aware that pterosaurs or different animals, and the park even has early mammals as well. Probably mammal-like reptiles. That would be cool, like a Dimetrodon. Okay, so the authors actually know about dinosaurs in the Mesozoic era. But that's the impression I'm getting from this. They're actually well versed in dinos. Okay, I like that. That's good. That's to their credit. Maria worked in the marine section of the park, mostly feeding the larger marine reptiles and overseeing training and featured shows. She had been assigned to the marine section of the park when she got the job and had rarely thought of venturing out to work at other areas of the park. Maria knew... Her name is Mariah. I'm a dumbass. Mariah knew for a fact that she was much safer working with the fish eaters than the meat eaters, and the sheer size of the herbivores was off-putting. The sheer quantity of food that the large herbivores required meant that the majority of herbivore workers were male. Fucking sexist dino park pigs. Most of them were built well, heavy, muscled, and still sweated like pigs all day as they hauled feed after feed into the food dispensary. The only drawback that Maria could see in working with the marine reptiles was that they were most commonly relied upon for shows. There was no possibility of ever training a Carnotaurus to perform on command, unless that command was to get really, really pissed off and eat everything in sight. Also Carnotaurus, I'm the dad for one of my favorite dinosaurs right there. A few of the smaller herbivores would perform to please their keepers, but the other main sources of entertainment in the park were left to the small mammals. A lot of backstory to a book about getting boned by a dinosaur. I guess that's how women like their porn, with a lot of, story. This is targeted towards women, by the way. Just FYI. Oh shit, they name-dropped SeaWorld in here. Ooh, they're gonna be suing you. They don't want to be in no erotica. They probably treat their dinosaurs better than SeaWorld treats their animals, honestly. Now it's talking about how lonely she is working with dinosaurs. But I feel like... I'm gonna turn that away. But I feel like on a first date, and the guy's like, what do you do? And she says, oh, I work with fucking dinosaurs. Man, so if some woman said this to me, I'd be like, that's rad as hell. Tell me more. You're interesting. You're so interesting. That's awesome. So she's been feeding the plesiosaurs and stuff, and it continues. As Mariah sat a few steps up from the creature, she watched it slowly slip back into the water. Using its front flippers, the creature pushed itself backward and slid effortlessly into the deep blue pool. Mariah... I guess you could pronounce it either way. Maria, I'm just going to go with Maria, didn't know exactly how deep the water was, but she had no intention of finding out. If it was deep enough for Plesiosaurus, it was certainly too deep for her. Not too deep for me, you know what I'm saying? So, it's talking about how emotionally close she is to the Plesiosaurus, how she gets closer to the enclosure than she's supposed to. And I thought this was supposed to be a story about getting railed by a raptor. Maria watched the creature's small head duck below the water and traced its silhouette as it swam a circle around the circumference of its tank. Maria often wondered if any of the creatures at Dino Park were truly happy with such small enclosures. After all, the original Plesiosaurus had the world's oceans to navigate. A far cry from even the largest pool at Dino Park. Wake the hell up, Pip. So she's going to give us some more fish. She's not supposed to. And it reads, the creature studied her with its large brown eyes, closed its mouth, and shuffled back just a few feet before opening its mouth again. Maria laughed as the creature continued its impression of an oversized sea lion. This is actually kind of well written. I hate to say it. It's very descriptive. She threw one of the buckets of fish into the creature's mouth and shooed him away into the water. Again, the Plesiosaurus performed its afternoon tricks, splashing water all over the side of the tank before heading back to the platform, lifting itself up and creeping closer to Mariah. This time Mariah dared to reach out and stroke it. She ran her hand over its smooth head. Its wet, dark olive skin squeaked with her touch. You're not supposed to touch the creatures. She was amazed at the softness of its skin. She had expected it to feel like the sharks in the aquarium across town, but there was no sandpaper feel to it. It was smooth and slick. She drew her hand back toward her. It felt just as smooth against the grain. As she let her hand slide back and forth over the creature's head and neck, she heard a deep rumble come from its throat, almost like a loud, deep purring. She smiled down at him and let her hand slide down between its eyes. The creature's eyes followed her hand as she did it again, and Mariah couldn't help but laugh as it briefly went cross-eyed before following her hand back up to the top of its head and then closing them. "You're nothing but a big softy, aren't you?" Mariah stood, her knees clicking loudly and jolting the creature from its bliss. Wide-eyed, it watched as Maria stood above it. Sorry, I'm going back and forth between Maria and Mariah, but that's just because I'm dumb. "I would be careful if I were you. Mr. Allen will have a shit fit if he sees you that close to the plesiosaurus." Mariah looked up, alarmed at the voice coming from nowhere, and saw Jim sitting in the front row of the stands. She lifted her hand and waved with a smile. Jim walked down the stands and over to the tank. "Well, I'm sure not going to tell him." She flashed him another grin, and he smiled back. "Just you be careful. He might be cute, but we still don't know all that much about them. He could be planning to take your arm off any minute now." Is it weird that my mind went straight to, and then he's going to fist her with it? Is that way too dark for YouTube? Mariah smirked. Who was Jim to tell her how to handle a creature she'd been working with for years? 3 years max. He was only the janitor after all. Oh, he's only the janitor! I mean, he's still right, but he's only the janitor. I thought he was, okay. He's a piscivore, you know. I highly doubt he has any interest in biting my arm off, Jim. But, man, hasn't she seen Godzilla 1994? If it smells like fish, it tastes like fish, mofo. 1998. Don't harass me in the comments. 1998, I corrected myself. So apparently, like, a woman was killed in a Triceratops enclosure and the janitor had to clean it up? How much did the cops and morticians leave? Damn. I mean, I've picked up bodies in multiple parts before. I'm a mortician in training. And, we pick up all the parts we can. So, it must have been a pretty brutal scene. Oh shit, she fell in the water. The very thought of being in such deep water terrified her, and she surfaced quickly, grabbing onto the edge of the platform. She struggled to lift herself out, but her clothes kept pulling her down. Oh, jeez. Here it comes. Mariah kicked off her shoes, letting them sink to the bottom of the pool, and reaching down with one hand while the other firmly gripped the platform, she unbuttoned her pants and tugged them down as best she could. Holding the platform with both hands, she kicked and kicked until her pants, along with her panties, don't know why the panties had to come off, slid down her legs and joined her shoes at the bottom of the murky water. Well, I do know why the panties had to come off. She's going to get fucked. As she struggled to lift herself out of the water again, she could feel a shadow coming up behind her. The plesiosaurus was swimming behind her. For a brief moment, I don't like it when 2 sentences in a row end with the same exact thing. It's kind of off-putting. For a brief moment, Mariah thought that perhaps the creature was going to lift her from the water and save her. She felt a bump from behind. The creature's solid mass had lifted her just a little, and while it helped her to feel more secure with a better grip on the slick platform, she still did not have the strength to lift herself up. The creature was no longer behind her, but a few seconds later, she sensed that dark shadow creeping up on her again. Oh, fuck. This time as it surfaced, Maria didn't feel herself being bumped from below and onto the platform. She felt something thick and large between her legs. Oh my god. Oh my god. And she can't move because she can't pull herself up onto the platform. Whoa! This uses the C word! Dude! I did not need to read a description of a plesiosaurus's dick. Oh, Jesus Christ. Her first thought is, I hope Jim's not watching this. Not, holy shit, I'm being fucked by a marine reptile. Jim is watching this happen. He's watching this happen. And he's pitching a tent. He's got a boner. He's like, he's thinking to himself, I'd go get help, but I have a boner. He sits down and watches. That's what he does. Yo, this plesiosaurus is like really good at sex, apparently. Holy shit. Yeah, Jim's spanking it. Jim is absolutely spanking it right now. Holy crap, Jim. Come on, man. And she's begging it for more, so holy shit. So Jim's fantasy right now is that she would be blowing him while the plesiosaurus is like penetrating her. So his sex fantasy with her includes the plesiosaurus. So my question is, right, like she's halfway out of the water and it's slamming her. How does this like physically work? Wouldn't he be like crushing her under his weight or either pushing her under the water and drowning her? Am I overthinking porn? It keeps giving me descriptions of what Jim's doing to his meat, and that's... I don't know what's worse. I don't know which part of this I want to see least. Oh, God. How would a plesiosaurus even know what to do? Like, if it was just humping her, I'd understand, but it, like, found the correct area to penetrate and everything. And it's, like, just the right size. I mean, once again, I know it's, like, a weird kind of submission fantasy, but... Yowza. Well, Maria came and Jim came, so I guess all that's left is for the plesiosaur to ejac. You know what? It just hit me that this is bestiality. God damn it. That, like, just hit me. I've had this book for, like, 2 days waiting to read it for you guys, and it just now hit my brain that this is, in fact, bestiality. But it's with creatures that don't exist anymore, so I guess that's how they get away with it. And now all three have achieved release. Congratulations! Fuck me. So, Jim helped her out of the enclosure, but only after watching everything, creeper. So he's acting like he wasn't there the whole time. Jeez. Well, that's the end of Dino Park After Dark. I thought it would be a Velociraptor story, because above Dino Park After Dark it says Raptors Beneath the Big Tent. Or maybe Raptors Beneath the Big Tent is like the publication that Dino Park After Dark is included in, because these are other formerly published stories that are included in this. They aren't. But yeah, I don't know if you guys want me to keep going. Do you want me to keep going? Because I'll keep going. You know, I'll keep it going. Yeah, I'll keep that. I'll keep it going. You want another one? Well, if you want to hear about another one of these weird stories, I guess I can do another one. There's The Raptor and the Warrior. Want to hear about that one? Alright, so The Raptor and the Warrior. We rose at dawn, the grass still thick with dew from the night. We bathed in the river, a ritual cleansing. We cleansed our bodies to rid them of evil. This obviously is like kind of a prehistory thing. The evil may have come in the night from dreams, or it may have come from thinking about the task ahead. I feel like there's going to be more coming in the night in a bit. So we cleansed this evil so that our fight was pure. I bathed a few yards down from the men. I didn't care if they saw my naked body. I am beautiful. Hashtag you go girl. I have strong arms and legs. My breasts are full and round. My hair is long and blonde. My eyes sparkle a lustrous glow of green, like the trees in spring. If they want to look, they can look. If they want to touch, that is a different story. Some have touched, the ones I have allowed. Some have tried and walked away. If they were lucky, only with broken bones. The unlucky ones walked away with worse. Or they didn't walk away at all. She's hardcore. I like this. I mean, Fuck. So she's talking about how her father kind of raised her like the son he never had, and how her mother just kind of accepted it because she was like good at it. And one of the things that her mother that helped her accept is she tamed a raptor. Thintran is its name. And she like rides him and shit. It must be like a Utah raptor or something, because Velociraptor's not big enough to ride. But I'm sure this one's big in more ways than one. She's gonna get fucked by a raptor. She's just talking about her relationship with her sisters. Who the hell cares? So she's talking to like a suitor for her sister, and she's like, if you hurt my sister, I told him, I will take you on a hunt with me, and you will sadly never make it back. Which I'm sure is a line from Game of Thrones. Didn't Samwell Tarly's dad tell him that? Who did it first? That's for you to decide. This is oddly bloody for something that's supposed to get you off. She's like describing battles she's been in. I mean, I guess it's empowering if you're a woman reading this, but if you're not, it's like, wow, you're mentioning, like, it's a little gory for erotica, I suppose. I hate how well written this is. If this was just a drama about a woman who kicked ass on Raptorback, I could be into this. Like, she's having this conversation with her dad right now about what she feels after she kills somebody, and it's like, good. I feel like these two women might be wasting their talents on erotica. She's like really kick-ass, but also like really compassionate. Like, this is fucking Wonder Woman here, man. She's awesome as hell. They should just do a book series about her that's like not erotica, where she just kicks ass and doesn't have sex with a velociraptor. Now it's getting into like a lot of political stuff with another tribe. Once again, this would be a pretty cool story by itself if it wasn't going to end up being about a woman getting deep-dicked by a raptor. So she's like getting horny while bathing, and she's like, oh good, that'll fuel me during the battle. Which is a pretty hardcore way to think about that. Oh, now she's masturbating. Okay. No, so the people in the other tribe don't want war either. They sent her to like kind of do one last attempt at negotiation, but the guy whose face they slashed is the son-in-law of like a powerful elder, and since he's been embarrassed, they have to fight. The elder's making them fight, and that's classic toxic masculinity on display. Yeah, so like the first time they encroached on the hunting grounds, it was like oh crap, we didn't realize we were out of our jurisdiction or whatever, out of our territory. Sorry, it won't happen again. And then this cocky young guy whose father-in-law is an elder is like, whatever, my father-in-law is an elder, I can do whatever I want. So he was told not to hunt there. He did it, got sent back with a warning, went right back the next day and got his face cut. Like, he's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. So they're going to try to... So she convinced him to, like, lead his tribe into a trap, and she would encircle them and force them to surrender, and no one would die. Her tribe agrees that it's a good plan, and that they won't kill anyone, and that way they can preserve their friendship with the tribe. So everyone surrenders except the idiot son-in-law of the elder, right? They have shamed me, and I will not let that stand, Rathim shouted. That's his name, by the way. I will have my day. Ganaf shouted for him to be silent and lay down his spear. Rathim cursed him and ran toward my father. He raised his spear to throw. I barely knew what was happening. My arm went up, pulled an arrow, and fired it before Raintham could bring his spear to the shoulder. The arrow pierced him between his shoulder blades. He dropped his spear. He sprayed suspended in the air for a moment, and then he, too, fell to the ground. You can't blame her, though. That's her dad. The guy didn't follow the orders of his leader. He was an idiot. He's responsible for every single bad thing that's happened. I'm into this. I'm into this story. I'm gonna be sad when it turns into porn. I thought killing him would make it erupt into a big battle, but everyone else from that tribe is like celebrating that this idiot is finally dead. God damn, he must have been a huge fucking asshole. Fuck. And she still prays for his spirit. She's dope as hell. Feeling the thrill of battle still coursing through my body, I needed to get rid of the feeling before I could bathe. I knew what I wanted, what I needed. We rode for a long time and came to a clearing in a secluded wood that we had visited before. I dropped off Thintran, the raptor's back, and stood before him. I still have fire built up from the battle, Thintran, I told him, and he pawed the earth. He snorted and growled low. He too had the fire. He too needed to release some of the tension of the battle. That never was. Has she done it with him before? Is this like a regular thing for her? We'd been together for so long we could read each other's thoughts. He knew what I wanted. He knew what I needed to cool down, to release the fire of battle. Man, she a freak. She a freak. And I knew what he wanted. I knew what he longed for. I was happy to give it to him, as happy as he was to give me my desire. His tongue? You want a raptor's mouth by your genitals? That's asking for trouble. I wanted it and he knew. I stood legs apart facing him and he came to me. Oh, I gotta stop. I can't keep... Oh, no. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, he's speaking French, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, and now he's munching on the titties. He's munching on the titties, fam. So this one's all about the foreplay. You see? The other one, as soon as the sex stuff started, they went right into it. This one, all about the foreplay. So they put the real different stories next to each other. You know, really break it up. So that's smart. This was... I hate to say this was done well, but... damn it, it was! So, fun fact... she's a squirter. Well, in case you were wondering if she reciprocates oral, she does. Do you think blowjobs were a thing in, like, the relative time area that this is... time period, that this is, like, set in? Like maybe among the homosexual community, but, like... when did blowjobs, like, become popular among straight couples? Do that research for me. Okay, so this part about the BJ's actually, like, really gross. Like, it's giving me a funny feeling to read this. It's making me uncomfortable. It's making me... This... I mean, the whole thing is uncomfortable. But this part especially... it's making me feel... ugh. Not nauseous, but, like... oh no, here comes the money shot. Another fun fact, raptors can sigh, apparently. She's mentioned that she loves sucking it multiple times. You don't have to keep telling me that. Like, it's very apparent from the rest of the description that you rather enjoy it. Yeah, I was right. This one's pretty much all foreplay, because the actual penetration is, like, really short in this story. I'll tell you what ain't short in this story, though. Raptor dick. So it seems like that might only be something they do during wartime, but it's also, like, that's still super weird, right? Like, she mentioned she occasionally gets with human dudes, but... weird! This is crazy. The next one's taken by the pterodactyl. We're not gonna do that one today. Depending on how this is received, we might not do it ever. But, yeah, so if you're into this kind of thing, there's, like, a bunch of it on Amazon. I feel like your local bookstore might not have this. Normally I would say, support your local bookstore. I do that all the time. But, you're pretty much going to have to go to Amazon for this stuff. This is too much. This is too much. Well, we actually got a really good ways into it. We got 579 pages out of 2,594. But if you want me to read more books and stuff, books, you gotta pay for books. It won't always be erotica. In fact, erotica, I'll probably never do another erotica after this book. But I do want to do other, like, professionally written books. Like, it's obvious that that book is professional. Unlike fan fictions, we might take a break from the erotica just to get the taste out of everyone's mouth. Honestly, I feel like I could gag right now because some of the descriptions in that book are like, no thanks. Like, I watch some nasty ass stuff online, right? But reading it's like a whole different story, especially when there's dinosaurs. So if you like that and you want to hear more stories read, be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and support us on Patreon. Support us on Patreon. We can bring you more stuff, better, faster, stronger, whatever that means. So that's it. Thank you all once again. Next time we will probably be doing the second book of Mothra's Diary. So stay tuned for that.